Really?
No, I started it on Sunday with me nan, and we were just like, bloody hell, this is not what I was expecting from the trailer. This is a hybrid, Clara. This is a hybrid of a show.
I mean, technically, if we want to play up to an audience in a cliche, you could technically say, "This is not my doctor." Peter Capaldi's an evil mass murderer man.
Yeah.
Not in real life. He's a very genuine.
We hope.
So he was filming something else.
Mm.
I don't think it was Devil's Hour. It was something else, and people were like, it was like late at night. He was doing like night filming, but came over, like made an effort to say hello, have pictures and stuff like that. It was like just a really nice guy.
Hello. Have you subscribed to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel?
To
the Devil's Hour YouTube
channel. Do you think that's part of the contract? Is like whenever you become the Doctor, you have to record that?
Maybe.
Because correct me if I'm wrong. Tennant never had one.
Never had him being wrong.
No, never had him doing a YouTube subscribe.
Oh yeah,
thing.
I think that was Matt Smith.
That started from the Smith era because it was when he would. It was the and he was doing the Sonic and then does the thing and then just points to the thing because that was 2011.
Right, that was Series 6 time.
Yeah, that was about because he had the Series 6 hair because it was a lot longer.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I can chart most things in life by by Matt Smith's haircut. I always find it sad, and this seems pathetic to me, I really find it sad that the last time we see his hair in all its glory is the day of the Doctor. He's just got that fucking wig on. Not to diss the wig has grown. Alright. Sorry everyone. Hi. Welcome to Nerd Bubble Podcast episode 225.
Matt Smith fanfiction episode.
I just want to talk real quick about Matt Smith's wig in Time of the Doctor. It's grown on me a bit because I remember so he went off to film what was originally called How to Catch a Monster.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Lost River. It was Ryan Gosling's
directorial
debut.
Yeah, that movie.
And he was selected for it and he had to shave his head for it. I've still never seen it. I feel like we should do that as like a watch along thing at some point. I've got one of the best ones to do for watch along. We've got to do Stuart Little 3 because the graphics are terrible.
Oh, okay.
Because it goes full animated.
Ooh.
It's got a lot of the same voices apart from Snowbell, the cat, and I think George is a different voice.
Makes me feel so old. I haven't heard of Stuart Little for years.
It's because they were all on there. Like I watched 1 and 2, and I've
always Disney Plus
on Prime.
Oh, on Prime.
Amazon Prime. Because first two are first one's fantastic. Second one is a lot of fun, but it's that Hollywood thing of let's sequelize a kids thing and make more money. And then for the third one, it was obviously like, well, let's just do it all animated, and it was straight to DVD. It's called Call of the Wild, and I started watching it, and I was like, I need to make Connor watch this.
Oh right, okay.
Because I can only describe the graphics quality, and you will get this reference straight away.
Is it the birth child of the Daimon? Is it that sort of category?
So the quality of the animation, I would call season 1 of Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
On Xbox 360.
2012, and yet this direct-to-DVD thing was when?
2007, I want to say. Because Stuart Little 1 was like 2001, so I want to say the second one was like 2003, 4.
Right.
And I remember seeing the DVD on the shelf, I think like Asda or something. I was like, there's a fucking third one? Oh, I didn't say that obviously because I was a child.
Third one?
But yes.
Okay, Stuart Little 3, Call of the Wild.
We'll have to do that. We'll have to do
is there
Lost River.
Is Harrison Ford in it looking after a dog? Is that what Stuart Little 3 is about?
Yeah, Harrison Ford's there, but he just smokes weed and has the Millennium Falcon door fall on him and break his leg. Ho ho!
Makes so much
sense. But yeah, I am George.
I'm Connor, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, and we talk about pop culture.
Won't be by the end of this double
a format that is completely unique and only done here. Matt Smith's wig in Time of the Doctor. I don't know about you, but
let's make this episode Matt Smith week because afterwards we can talk about House of the Dragon and how long and white his hair became.
I'm watching that when we get back from because next week we're not here. Spoilers, because when you listen to next week, a new one comes out, but it's gonna happen right after this one in reality. In
this timeline,
and next week I'll get paid. So when we get back from, I think we're just going to Centre Parks for the 5 days. So we were like, should we just do Game of Thrones? Should we? I'm not Game of Thrones. That's Game of Thrones one. The Matt Smith long hair incest thing.
Incest thing. Yeah.
But yeah, when the
House
images
of
Matt Smith with his wig to finish his time as the Doctor. I hated it at the time because I was like, that is not like his hair, but obviously he can't do that because it's a wig.
Yeah.
But the more I watch it, the more I'm like...
You can't justify natural growth.
It also, for me, like, I hate the way it sits on his head. Like, the whole thing, like, when... the flick just doesn't work.
Because it's just slipped back.
It's like there, but also like down and just so flat and static, and it's clearly not his fucking
real
hair.
No.
But... I can suspend my disbelief because obviously a substantial amount of time has seemingly passed and does continue to pass. So I imagine that there is a time jump between day and time of the Doctor. Yeah. And obviously he stays on Christmas for hundreds and hundreds of years, making him canonically, in terms of timeline, the one that stays in his body the longest, because it's like
he does,
over so he's 906 when when the 11th Doctor's born, and then he dies because the 12th Doctor, not long, like in Deep Breath, which takes place mere moments after the time of the Doctor.
Yeah,
they've lived for over 2,000 years. And when we saw him in Series 6, he was 1103. I must have drank it sometime.
Yeah, 1103.
So like nearly over 1,000 years.
1,098 years.
1,100 years he's been in that body, and a lot of it was on the planet Christmas.
Yeah, old git.
That is what we call timelines, ladies and gentlemen. And while we talk timelines, Connor, do you want to talk about something? What happened? Something wicked this way comes.
Something wicked this way comes. Yeah. Should we? I know we've kind of dabbled about She-Hulk, and we said, we will talk about it, and we kind of talked about how great the Daredevil episode was. But should we kind of just get the finale out of our system, and because it's enough times kind of processed, and
we did talk about it.
Did we hate it? Did we love it?
We did talk about the third act.
A retrospect of She-Hulk of some sort, a little bit.
Yes, you could do that. Go for it. Away we go.
Well, Kevin Feige was in it. I mean, wow.
We did briefly talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of making things up on the spot.
Let me get something that I want to show you.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. You keep talking about Kevin Feige's hat.
A hat on a stupid robot. A hat on a robot with one eye, named after Kevin, Kevin, talks to She-Hulk about breaking the fourth wall and the possibilities of season 2 and the X-Men. Oh, and George has got... Oh, I think I saw the colours. I saw the pretty colours for such a shit... Oh, that's not what I thought you had, but a steelbook. Oh. Is that all the specials?
That is.
Yeah.
So, this in my hand... I will do an unboxing because I did the Flux one. Is the Series 13 specials. A 2-disc set.
For 3 episodes.
Steelbook, starring Eve of the Daleks, Legend of the... I nearly said Sontarans, that would have been good. Legend of the Sea Devils, Power of the Doctor.
Very recent. Very recent episode.
Monday. They're special. So there is an audio commentary for Power of the Doctor.
Brilliant.
They don't react... So it's Chris Chibnall. I think it's him and Mandip Gill.
Okay.
But they don't react to Tennant at the end. So apparently it cuts there, so it finishes on the wide, which was going to be at one point the original ending because there was no Russell.
When
Chibnall
was unsure of the future,
yeah, which I think would have worked as a this is the end of the show. I would have been fair enough.
This is Survival 2.0.
Yeah, and if you'd have picked it up in 15 odd years time, then you've got that leeway of, you'd cast someone else, but then you've got the thing of when you go back to stuff, you can fill in those gaps because
of course.
A substantial.
Big Finish. That's your money vault right there.
Yeah, it's like say 15 odd years passes in real time before you'd make the next incarnation of Doctor Who, then you'd be like, there's gaps there.
Yeah,
that's how you do it instead of just if we Jimmy John her in between Paul McGann and Christopher Eccleston.
Exactly. Let's put Joe Martin between all of the Doctors we ever known.
Right at the beginning, and let's completely undersurf her. But so we'll talk about Doctor Who stuff a bit. We'll probably talk about that quickly, and then because we've got a lot of Marvel things to kind of be the brunt of it.
Get out of there.
But yeah, so and apparently at the top of the episode for Power of the Doctor on the commentary, Chris talks about Dan having to leave because of John Hurt's scheduling conflicts, which is what we suspected, which is still the greatest shame of Power of the Doctor.
Yeah. Goddamn, Dan.
I like Dan.
I wanted Dan the man. Dan was the man for the latter half of the era.
I really do like this design though. It's
a cool
one of
design.
my favourites.
Yeah.
Someone on Twitter, I forget who it was, did a thread ranking all the new series steelbooks. I will see if I can find it in the meantime, and we will possibly talk about it in this very Doctor Who section. But that arrived, and that for me has triggered the okay, let's begin the rewatch in anticipation for our retrospective with Will and Andy, coming 25th of the 11th, 2022. We record on Doctor Who Day, but
yeah.
The budget is going up.
Triple.
Seemingly triple, yes.
Triple the amount.
So the deal with Disney Plus for distribution wasn't just that, it's also a co-production deal in which Russell still has overall creative control and final say, because obviously it's going out on Disney Plus everywhere in the world apart from the UK. Yes.
Yeah.
I could have just said internationally. Why didn't I do that? Now, that is good for many reasons. It's also I found a thing here that was it would have the same budget as season 1 of the season 1 of The Mandalorian.
Oh.
And more budget than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Bloody hell. There's a disturbance in the Force.
In terms of the numbers that have been thrown around for this news.
Right. Oh, God.
Which is very good.
Doctor Who's really trying to make a ripple in the streaming stuff.
Yeah, and I think that it's nice because it's going to finally be a BBC show with the budget that they always wanted, like the American. When you had Next Generation and stuff being made around the time of the Bakoya and things like that. It's like they both one looked distinctly average and cheaper.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But hence no more. So I'm thinking maybe the episode count will go back up. Surely, if there's that much budget, I think it'll be more than 10.
Yeah, it should be.
It'll definitely be more than 6. I think it'll be at least 10.
Yeah.
I would take 10. I would take 10 high quality episodes over. I would kind of like 13, and I think Russell believes that that's the way to go because if you're getting these actors in for a short amount of time, there is a quick turnaround in terms of Doctor Who actors in reality of it, and he's only going to be here maybe for 5 years again.
Right.
So in the broad elements,
let's make those 5 years count.
So in the broad elements, David Tennant is his Christopher Eccleston. And Ncuti Gatwa is possibly his David Tennant.
Of this run, yeah.
Which I'm fine with if we only get Ncuti from Russell. As long as it's left in a place where whoever takes over again from Russell then they keep that production budget and co-production.
Keep the quality. Yeah, absolutely.
Because hopefully that is a stepping stone. Like Russell's sort of laying the foundation again so he laid the foundation for Doctor Who to come back and become and propel it to superstardom and mainstay of British television, and begin the international growth, which Stephen Moffat arguably got it over the line. Yeah. In terms of series 5 and 6, and A Christmas Carol was the first time that America got a Doctor Who episode the exact same time as England.
British.
Because BBC America had more funding, got more stuff, and then obviously the opportunity arose for them to film in America in series 6. Hopefully he's laying the foundation work for whoever then comes in 5-6 years time, then takes over to carry on that and propel it more and more and more. And then, eventually stagnate again. Keep getting Russell back in every 15 years.
He's the reboot man. Just keep getting him in.
But
just bring him in.
I think it works. I think in terms of you need. It's a strong. I feel like it just needs a bit of a kick up the arse.
Definitely.
Into I argue the Chibnall era has looked good. I mean the stuff with.
I'd say arguably just visually, he just looks the best. I think it captures the CGI, but the realistic look.
I think in later, in Flux onwards, it's kind of it's found its ground. Whereas series 12, it was still kind of muddled between the crispness of series 10, and it was very murky compared to that. But and always seemed to be in soft focus, but. Hopefully this leads on to,
bigger and better things.
Definitely bigger and better things, which there was someone that tweeted, if you could have one spin-off series, what would it be? And the person who quote tweeted it was John Barrowman with just a question mark. As we've said time and time again, I don't think we can keep going over it. If he'd just apologised the first time, maybe we'd have a season 5 of Torchwood. I think there's still room for Torchwood with and without John Barrowman.
Oh no, yeah.
I am not.
This Kate Stewart's regime, if it was to.
Well, that seems like it's laying the foundation for Unit to come back in some kind, but then to be like a hybrid of Unit and Torchwood kind of thing, you've got past companions like of all kinds, like
being involved potentially.
I wouldn't say no to like a Unit thing with all those. Like if you had like the supporting characters from Doctor Who are then the stars of their own thing, and it's not just class but shit.
But but then you also combine.
Sorry,
should the Big Finish stuff, because I mean the Unit thing has been weird, because after Power the Doctor especially, I feel like there is a gap for the Unit Torchwood void to be filled on screen. But then after the last nearly 10 years of the Unit range with Big Finish and the Torchwood range with Big Finish, potentially, should those characters ever get the time of day, heck, rather than do a whole casting thing of, who are we going to use as the next face, just bring those guys in. Get the voices behind the audios and get them on screen.
Yeah, possibly. No,
For a few.
I completely agree with that, yes. But what was I saying? I feel like had he apologised, we might be definitely seeing a Series 5 of Torchwood. I wouldn't say that we're not going to get it. It could still happen both with and without John.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think, if you can do it without him, you have, what's her name? You have Eve Miles head it up.
Of course.
You bring in Martha, a character familiar within that universe and familiar to the audience, that the audience is keen for a return of.
Yeah.
I would then say, there's, maybe that's what Ryan goes on to, like if Tosin Cole's series is in right now isn't, what he's in forever, you could arguably like have him either as a guest or like as a sort of semi-regular. Like if depends if he's done with the universe kind of thing, like we don't know.
If he's purposely like, that's it, I'm done.
But where Graham and Ryan were left off when they left, compared to where we then pick up with Graham and the mention of Ryan, there's a possibility.
Could be something.
Had he not been a despicable human being, and if you'd have asked me like 3-4 years ago, I would have said Mickey. But obviously, I don't expect to see that character in any iteration, even with a recast. I feel like that's
gone,
just going to be left, and rightly so. I know Noel Clarke keeps arguing that is innocent and all those kinds of things. All those amount of people can't be wrong. Using your power to kind of like shove people's like voices like
aside.
It's not good.
No,
and I know a lot of people are saying that Russell was completely blind and missed the mark, but in those early days of production, we've said before, like it's not making an excuse, but it is probably one of those things that you can just miss, and then if you miss it, it's hard to catch it because that you might have missed your only chance to actually see anything actually happening or witness it firsthand, because obviously if you're not seeing it, you're only believing what you're told.
Seeing is believing, but
and that's not to defend and say Russell didn't see anything. He might have done, he might not have done, we'll never know. And I'm not really I'm kind of done with that aspect of it. I think what he done was horrendous and should never be anywhere near this show again.
No.
Whereas before, John Barrowman has had the chance to apologise and still hasn't. He's doubled down and dug his heels in. So, as far as I'm concerned, until he changes his stance, nothing's ever going to change, and we're not going to see that character, or at least expect not to. Because I definitely think Vinder was in place of Captain J. Harness, because it was like, and Vinder's here.
Yeah, without.
And I like Jacob Anderson. I really rate
Jacob Anderson.
I really like him as Grey Worm. His music's actually quite good. And Vinder was one of those things that I really did enjoy
during that season. Yeah.
So we'll obviously get more into that. I'm talking about the Whittaker era. I shouldn't. It's naughty.
It's a thing of the past.
But yes, that's a thing of the past. Just like, I hope this works.
Just like the new season of.
What have I got here? Oh yeah, so we're talking about. So there was. Where is it? So there's an interview going on. So the newest issue of Doctor Who magazine is out with the new logo, with Tennant on the front, arms crossed, looking very Doctor-ish.
Oh, okay, Doctor.
And it says the future. This is the future. David Tennant is the Doctor. So it's the first issue with the new Doctor, and it talks about. So like Chibnall talks about how he wanted his last shot with Jodie to mirror the first promo shot and the first shot in general they ever released of her, which was her on the mountaintop with the TARDIS.
Right.
So that was what he wanted to do as Mirror. Within that quote, big and bold, is breaking up a paragraph which is Russell as well. So it's got Chibnall talking about it. Then it goes on to Russell as far as I believe.
Yeah.
I do want to pick it up because I did at one point have a couple of the first issue of the new Doctor, or like either when they were announced or when it was like this is the Doctor, like from the Regenerate. I think I've got a Matt Smith and a Peter Capaldi one somewhere.
Right.
I've got John Hurt's one. I've got something like that, but I want to pick that up because obviously for the interview I've got one of them that's Russell and Stephen Moffat interviewing each other about their eras, which is quite a good one.
Well, that's a good
if
one.
I can dig it out, you should give it a read because it is quite funny.
Ooh,
but then Russell talks about the clothes regenerating, and he says, "For me,
why was that such a detail?"
So I'm gonna paraphrase quite a lot because I don't have the quote in front of me because I can't be asked to dig through and find the tweet.
Yes.
But in the general consensus of the quote was that it was important for him that the clothes changed because he thought like obviously like being a homosexual man and part of that community and drag, he said that's a very delicate subject and way to portray it kind of thing.
Okay.
And basically said that like it would have possibly like to him, so this is like his thing, and he's got a quote that's then later on in the article that a lot of people aren't picking up on, which is the clothes were always going to change and nothing was going to change my mind. So like he talks about how it can seem insensitive and wrong if suddenly in this wonderful costume of the first female Doctor you've got a 6 foot white heterosexual Scottish man standing in it. That can seem silly and probably insulting to some people. So
derogatory to some. Yeah.
Yeah. He basically said like it's you're treading that line.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
Obviously, the part of it is you want to be in it, and like they have the transition of the clothes, and people like a lot of the arguments were, well, Sasha wears them in the episode, and it's always specified by Jodie in lots of earlier interviews that it was designed to be a more gender neutral outfit. Like there is feminine accents to it, obviously, like the earring, like I think the cut of the trousers are more feminine, but they still work.
Yeah, they would
for
work.
anyone, and the boots as well, and obviously like it's just the cut of the neckline of the t-shirt, but that's no big deal, and especially to like cosplayers, like guys have dressed up as the 13th Doctor, and there's like no issue with that. She's your character. Like if she's your Doctor, your favourite character, you want to dress up as her,
more power to you.
Fine.
Yeah, that's totally.
Whether you're straight, gay, bisexual, whatever kind of sexuality or gender you associate with, you do that because that's part of the community thing. And a lot of people have taken umbrage that that's kind of shitting on that, but it's him just saying no, like it's a delicate thing to bring to TV.
Yeah,
and he just didn't want to piss off the wrong people.
Right, yeah.
But either way, he was kind of going to piss off one of them, wasn't he?
Yeah. You can never please everyone in this world.
And knowing Russell, he'll write a part of it into the story where that becomes like a white, like because he even has the bit when he looks at the clothes like I wasn't wearing this kind of thing.
Yeah. It's that brief. He's like, what?
So so I'm sure that will be addressed in some case, but I totally get it. Like, and a lot of people have then said on his Instagram about like, and he's even said like, fair enough. Like, I completely get your point. I just don't agree with it. That's just I did it how I wanted to do it, but I completely respect your judgment of he should have worn Jodie's clothes. And he said, and obviously there's the thing. It tends to be like the way the press will clip it up or any photo they'll use in the future. Like for articles or stuff like clickbaity, like links on Facebook or whatever, it would be David Tennant wearing what is perceived to be a woman's outfit, and he's like, and that's not really fair either because the way it would be used would not be to the context that it's in.
Yeah, that's all valid. Yeah, I get all of that.
I completely 100% get it.
Something I didn't really think about, but it was just that's kind of opened my eyes and.
Oh yeah, definitely opened my eyes. Like, and I can see it. What I see. Either way, like I would have been like, I'm not overly, fussed that he's not in the clothes, and I'm not overly fussed that that his clothes changed.
It stood out that the clothes did change
because that's the first time that's ever happened on screen. The clothes change. Obviously,
of course,
the two different costumes of the Doctor
in black,
between Hartnell and Troughton,
black and white. Yeah,
you would have noticed it less, but
and like from what I know, they are pretty similar costumes.
Essentially, at the beginning, like
I've not stared at William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton enough.
It's basically, I think he wears a black cloak over his. Troughton wears it over his clothes anyway, so it's kind of like a.
Oh, okay.
The bridge betwixt.
Betwixt.
But we can look forward, everyone, to the 5 10th Doctors in the 70th anniversary special.
The 5 10th Doctors,
featuring David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, David Tennant as the 10.5 Doctor, David Tennant as the Metacrisis Doctor, David Tennant as the 14th Doctor, and David Tennant as the Curator, and introducing David Tennant as the Valeyard.
Yes, make that happen.
But we shall see. Shall we jump on the Marvel... I'll talk about the thing that I posted at the end, I think. I will talk about that last. But Marvel train. We've got Marvel stuff. We have Marvel stuff. Seemingly, the agreement has been reached for the continuation of the Disney-Sony use of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Rumor has it. So his contract is still. So it was No Way Home. So his new contract was No Way Home and one crossover. We seem to be Fantastic Four. I think it's a pretty safe bet. The rumor is that the new agreement that they have in place will be 6 upcoming projects, including Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
So we're assuming that if we're going to guess the 6, I would say Spider-Man 4, Daredevil.
Before Daredevil, you think?
No, like we're just going to say, like if I had to guess the 6 projects.
Not in the order, we're just going to say 6 things.
So I'd say Spider-Man 4, Daredevil Born Again, Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars.
Yes. In
some capacity.
Sure. Now, where would he go?
Where did he go next? Yeah, and obviously projects, it means like TV. Maybe he's
trying to think, TV-wise, special. I'm trying to think. What? I've gone completely blank on Phase 5 and 6.
Yes.
I have gone blank. Where are we with Marvel?
Where
Phase 5? Guardians, Marvels, none of them. Okay, Loki, Agatha, Daredevil. I can't see him being in like Agatha. I can't see him being in Loki. I can't see him being in Secret Invasion. Or like What If Season 2. That would probably be a 5th, if counting that. Or the character.
Yeah, because
not necessarily Tom Holland, because he's not voicing.
I heard a rumor that he was going to be voicing. Himself in, it might have been someone else. I might be confusing them, but basically, yes. What was
Deadpool 3?
There is a rumor that.
Yeah.
There's a rumor like
because didn't they have a really good run in the comic Spider-Man and Deadpool together? I feel like there's a modern series.
Because there's one where Deadpool told Spider-Man that he was him from the future, and Spider-Man started crying.
Great.
But someone who is rumoured to be in Deadpool 3.
Right. Who?
This may be a bit of a cliffhanger to you.
Cliffhanger.
Would be Owen Wilson as Agent Mobius.
I saw that literally about 2 hours ago, and I was kind of like, I don't hate that.
TVA then assumedly involved.
Yeah.
With the plot. Which then maybe is how you do the timeline stuff.
Right, yeah.
Because Hugh Jackman said he's playing a grumpier, like, angrier version
and
of
I still
Wolverine.
can't believe that the TVA were in Werewolf by Night. They were like the overseers of the hunt, if you want to call it that, like the Hunger Games segment of the episode, the special.
Welcome to the Hunger Games segment.
Yeah, they were like the security there. It was a bit, and like, nothing got addressed with that, but the TVA were there, which was odd. I don't hate the idea of Spider-Man and Deadpool if they were to just take the piss out of the whole legal situation and be like, hey, Toby Garfield, what freaking company are you with? Are you with Kevin Feige or are you with Amy Pascal? Make up your mind, kid.
Yeah, because we've obviously got some more. We got some Spider-Man stuff because Daniel Kaluuya is Spider-Punk.
He is Spider-Punk.
He's voicing Spider-Punk in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Is he actually?
Yes.
Is that like a recent development? Because I don't.
That was the last couple of days.
Okay, I hadn't heard of that, but cool, good. He's in more things. Brilliant. I've heard that his character gets addressed in Wakanda Forever as to why he's not in it as such.
Really?
W'Kabi, is it?
Yeah,
M'Baku is Winston Duke.
Yeah, so. I think it's Maccabi. Yeah, because apparently, like, Ryan Coogler talks about how he's like banished to like the outer regions of Wakanda. Because obviously he sided with Killmonger because of like the lack of action that T'Challa took, and siding with Killmonger on that.
No, I've heard it. Yeah, it's literally, it's not a rumor. I think I did read somewhere that his character does briefly get mentioned in address as to why he's not particularly in the film's plot.
Yeah.
So he is alive out there, and there is the room for him to come back.
Hopefully, because I think Danny Kaluuya is such a good actor, and I like him a lot.
After Nope, especially.
Yes. Hopefully that comes on Prime soon, so I can watch that. I'm looking through. So it's been revealed that Angelina Jolie was attached to play Vulture's daughter in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 for a short time before the movie was cancelled. Now, earlier this week, a verified Twitter account that hasn't had to pay Elon Musk yet changed their name to Tobey Maguire and shared a image of the 4 in the Raimi font and gave a date of like 2024. And he was like, "See, this is why it's bad. This is why it would be bad having anyone be able to be verified, like to pay for it, kind of thing." Because Elon Musk has said about, basically paid out $44 billion and realised, I don't have any money.
Yeah.
So it's like, if anyone can be verified, and originally it was going to be $20 a month, and he had this up, and Stephen King was like, well, what the fuck's the point then? Like, why should any old Tom, Dick and Harry essentially basically be doing it? It's like, all right, it's like been lowered, it's going to be $8 a month, and anyone can verify themselves, from then on, which is weird. And it's going to throw up a lot of bots that are just like, yeah, I'm definitely Harrison Ford, kind of thing.
I'm definitely confirming that I'm back as Han Solo, despite me saying no. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fan fiction stuff.
It's going to be horrible. Topher Grace's Venom and Dane DeHaan's Harry Osborn from The Amazing Spider-Man 2 had a small... rumoured to have a small cameo in Madam Web, when looking at different iterations of Peter Parker, because obviously Madam Web can traverse the Spider-Man multiverse.
I don't hate that idea, should they were to do it. But the way Sony go with their fucking universe, they won't. They won't do that. They should.
I think they will. I think one of them will definitely be in, because there's rumours that they are still gearing up for The Amazing Spider-Man 3 thing, which I was on board for that in 2016 when it was meant to come out. So
exactly.
Yeah. Build the hype. Yeah. But we shall...
Craven's not that long away, but actually no. I think it got pushed back to like the summer. It was meant to be early next year, but I feel like it's one of those where...
I watched Morbius again.
You'd watch Morbius again?
I've watched it again. Still terrible.
Greatly terrible.
Sort of.
Greatly terrible.
And Sony has reportedly had discussions with Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Josh Keaton and Christopher Daniel Barnes, which are the 90s animated and Spider-Man, the Unlimited? Fucking... Spider-Man Unlimited. Spectacular? Which one's that? Is that Spectacular?
That is Spectacular.
Spectacular. So the 90s one and the Spectacular one about voicing or having reprisals in either Across or Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Good,
and
yes,
Tom Holland's,
do it.
And Tom Holland's Spider-Man is expected to be used in some capacity. Along with
great.
whoever plays the PS4 game.
What Yuri something Lowenthal?
Yuri Lowenthal, yeah. The MCU and PS4 one are definitely
Insomniac Spider-Man are in it.
In some way, but we do not know.
Let Tom Holland be like the weird live-action hybrid Lego movie segment where movies all.
You said hybrid.
Oh shit, I did. I was Spider-Man all along, yes.
Apparently the Tom Holland deal also includes team-ups with Maguire and Garfield, but yet to be confirmed, because we have no confirmation on whether that has actually
going to happen.
Yet. Yeah. What did you saying about a hybrid? I'm a hybrid Spider-Man.
Make that movie be a hybrid and use Tom as like the live-action segment of the film. Don't make Tom Holland animated, just get him in the film live action, teaming up with the animated people for whatever reason, through some whatever magic.
Yeah.
And then you can have him show off his new and improved Spider-Man costume.
Yeah.
Take a better closer look at that.
Oh, I can't wait to see that again. But
properly.
Sure, The Punisher.
Jonathan
Bernthal's trainer may have confirmed Frank Castle's return to the MCU. It was either on a Instagram post or just as a comment. Looking forward to working with you during Phase 5.
Oh, but looking forward with you, as in
like to help get him back into fighting shape, because Charlie Cox is training with MMA fighters
Yes.
For his upcoming Daredevil
long episode,
Born Again.
long marathon of
and
a
I
season.
wouldn't be surprised if one of the others were cast in it, like if he had a surprise from Kristen Ritter, Mike Coulter, or John Bernthal himself. We can dream about Finn Jones, possibly, but we shall see.
We shall see, indeed.
Should we talk about Wonder Man?
Wonder Man, yes.
So Bob Odenkirk is being approached for a major role
in that show.
In Wonder Man, yes.
As Wonder Man's lawyer.
As I think one of the actors, because obviously Wonder Man's an actor that then gets bequeathed, like he gets, imbued with superpowers, doesn't he?
Lawyer. Why wasn't he in She-Hulk? If She-Hulk was to get a sequel of some kind, or if they're in Born Again even, if there's a court case, why can't
you want to just throw Bob Odenkirk in
as
like
a
that?
Lawyer, just for the sake of it? You
I
don't have to be Saul Goodman, but just have him as a lawyer.
But I like him as like a weird actor, like depressed actor.
Weird hybrid.
Have you seen what is that show that Bill Hader does, where it's like about acting and stuff? And it's...
Oh shit! I do know it, but the name's gone. I haven't seen it, but I wanted to. It was only on like the last year or so. I think it's quite recent. Is it something like Barry? Is it Barry? Is that what you're thinking of? Is it Barry?
Barry, yeah.
I've not seen Barry, but I wanted to. It sounded great. Yeah, no, I wanted to see Barry, for fuck's sake. But no, I don't know. Bob Odenkirk in what was he in? What did you say he was in? What?
Who?
Bob Odenkirk. What did you say originally? He was
Wonder Man.
She-Hulk. Wonder Man. Who is he supposedly in Wonder Man? Or
that's not been disclosed yet, but apparently, so the rumoured cast is Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Bob Odenkirk, Ben Kingsley is, fucking
Trevor
Slattery in some capacity,
and Morris,
and possibly Evan Peters as Ralph Boner, because he was an actor in WandaVision.
So is the character is the Wonder Man character an actor? Is Yahya Abdul-Mateen's character an actor? Because I don't really know Wonder Man from the comics. I know the name and that's it. Isn't he like Mr. Fantastic? He's like Stretchy Man and that's it. I don't really know Wonder Man too much. Who is Wonder Man?
An actor, gets powers and is egotistical.
So he's an actor
kind of
thing.
That's his thing.
Comics.
He's an actor and then gets superpowers.
So it'll be him playing himself then, essentially, until he gets
possibly
powers.
Maybe like an exaggerated version of himself, which I'm.
I'm here for that. Sounds great. And it's Destin Daniel Cretton that's writing and doing it, directing it as well, isn't he?
Yes, he's producing it and directing some of it. I don't know if it's all of it. But we shall see about that. Just like More Andors.
I still haven't watched any.
Real fake doors.
I've not seen no doors. Both Rings of Power Door and Andor. I've not watched none of them or finished them.
I've watched 2 episodes of Andor.
Yeah. I think it's still ongoing. I don't think it's ended just yet.
Yeah, because there's 12 episodes, I think.
I thought 16. Or something stupid. I don't know. It could be wrong.
I mean, that could be true, but the filming of season 2 begins the 21st of November. So, we shall see.
Oh, there's 10 at the minute.
There's 10 at the minute. Fucking hell.
It does end with November 23rd.
It does end with season 12.
November 23rd is when it's fucking ending.
We can talk about that next year.
Nice. Yeah, great.
Just like the apparently Indiana Jones Disney Plus TV series.
Young Indiana Jones Chronicles again?
I mean, I'm not against it.
No.
And then that's how they'll cast Chris Pratt. But
yeah.
You like John Wick?
I love Keanu Reeves.
Yes. You like the John Wick film series, right?
Yes.
Would you like a John Wick video game?
There was meant to be one anyway.
Lionsgate is looking to develop a major open world John Wick video game.
Good fucking open world, great. It's going to be GTA. And Hitman.
Jitman.
Wickman.
The Wicker Man. Nicolas Cage. Unbearable Massive Talent now on Amazon Prime.
The Wicker Man himself, yeah.
And while we're at it, the spin-off film that has previously been in the works is confirmed about the ballerinas.
Is that confidential?
The Continental is
Continental.
going to be the Netflix show.
Okay.
about the hotel, but the spin-off film Ballerina about the ones he visits in I was gonna say season 3, chapter 3,
Season 3, yeah.
starring. You're gonna like this.
Am I now? Okay.
Anna Darmis.
Oh, is she the ballerina?
She's one of the ballerina school of assassins.
Brilliant.
Which could be nice.
Yeah.
I like assassins and I like Anna de Armas.
I like Creed as well, just not Creed set in Valhalla. I didn't like that game too much.
Uh-huh.
Well, I haven't really got into it.
Okay.
Well,
Assassino.
Creed.
Yes.
Creed.
God of War Ragnarok is out today. See, we are current.
Is it actually out today?
It's out today.
We'll talk about it this week. I thought it was at the end of the week.
Everyone has tweeted about it and it's like, oh, it looks so good. It's like,
I'm still on the original.
I do not have time to buy it yet.
No, not for the price, no.
No.
Not for the current economy we're in.
Do you know what you don't have time for? You don't have time to get excited for Westworld Season 5.
Psych, it ain't happening.
Exactly, it's been cancelled.
Psych.
But Season 5 was confirmed to be the last one.
Yeah, it was meant to be the end, yeah.
But no, it's been cancelled after Season 4. So it'll end after
on a cliffhanger.
Yes. Possibly. I mean, I haven't watched Season 4 yet. I like Season 3 and the different direction it goes in.
I need to still finish Series 1.
Oh, it's good, man. Like everyone's like, this is going to be the new Game of Thrones, and it kind of has that void-filling hole. But it's just, I think some of the plot lines are too overly complicated. That a lot of people are losing interest in it, and are like, because you clearly haven't watched like Season 3 or whatever if you're complaining about like some of those things, because a lot of stuff comes more to the front, and
Well, there's an original film from the 70s, and it had an odd sequel called Future World or something.
Yeah.
Also in the 70s.
The 70s, different time.
Different times.
Different time.
Different effects, different budget, different world. Mainly set in the West, we think. Probably filmed in the East, though.
Rising in the East. Have
you ever seen The Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah, that's a hard thing to watch.
It's a hard one to describe. Also, do you
know what it is? It's tough. It takes your brain power.
Yeah, into the at times real world from what it's like from a female perspective in some instances. But it's weirdly, it's set in the modern day, but it feels so vintage and old fashioned that you do think you're in like a weird time capsule.
Yeah,
it's a weird one, but it's good to watch. It's one that I literally started at the weekend, and I kind of want to know the mystery. Bearing in mind it's series 5 or 6 now.
Yeah,
I think it's still ongoing, and I'm only 4 episodes into series 1, and I don't know the meaning of life with that show. I don't know where I'm going with that show. But no, Handmaid's Tale. Watch it if you're brave. if
you've got a sense of hating yourself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm updating a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. You know, respect the thing. The sequel series for The Gentleman has had some casting. I've forgotten the man who's the main guy. He was in Divergent.
Who's in Divergent?
The guy. He's
also the guy.
Yeah. And Giancarlo Esposito is apparently
Theo James.
Yes, Theo James is. Go on, there's going to be a new story about it.
Is he the gentleman?
Yeah.
Oh, Top Stories. Season 2, White Lotus. White Lotus nude scene. Okay, good.
There you go. So he's going to be in charge, like head of that, maybe. You know, I hope we see the original characters in some capacity again.
Oh, yeah. I would love a
cinematic
universe of Charlie Hunnam and Hugh Grant and all of them.
I still want another film with them.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be spectacular. Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Giancarlo Esposito is apparently the villain.
Why wouldn't he be?
Why is he not surprised?
A good person.
Yeah. Am I a good man? Walter White. Yeah, that's the... I had it there. Yeah, Theo James. The sequel series is moving forward. I hope we still get a sequel. Just like I hope we get more of Aubrey Plaza, because she is apparently cast as the villain in Agatha Coven of Chaos.
It makes me think like young Agatha, or like a young witch. I think she's got to be like a witch sorceress person in it. But I don't know any other Marvel witches. apart from Agatha and Wanda. I can't think of any witchy people.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Tell you what though, season 3 of The Mandalorian is set to premiere February 22nd, 2023, and we're
come round quick.
Apparently getting a full trailer at Christmas.
Brilliant. Christmas Day.
Christmas time. Mistletoe and alcoholic beverages. We talked about that. We talked about that before.
And mince pies.
So Elizabeth Olsen is rumoured to appear in upcoming MCU projects: Agatha, Coven of Chaos, the rumoured Vision Quest series, Wonder Man in some capacity, and Dynasty, Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars.
What if as well?
Yeah, that's one of the things. She's definitely voicing herself now.
Yeah.
That might have been the one that I heard. So yeah, Vision Quest sounds as stupid as when WandaVision was announced. I was like, what a stupid name. And it's like, actually, that was one of the best things.
Exactly. We can't doubt the quest that Vision will go on.
Yeah.
To become
Agatha Coven of Chaos, the rumoured cast is Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness, Emma Caulfield Ford as Sarah Proctor, Evan Peters reprising as Ralph Boner, Randall Parker as Jimmy Woo, Chloe Moretz as Abigail Harkness, Jimmy Schmitz as Nicholas Scratch. The cat is referred to as Scratch or whatever, but Scratch was her son in the comics. I don't know.
What?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Mephisto, which we know that it's probably going to be Sacha Baron Cohen if Mephisto does turn up.
I can't wait for that.
A cameo of Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch. Any of that turns out to be real, not disappointed. But obviously, with those things, huge pinch of salt, because they're not real. Have you watched Tales from the Jedi yet?
No, I just forget it's a thing. I forget it happened.
Do you know that Bryce Dallas Howard voices Yaddle in that?
Oh, I knew Yaddle was in it.
So it focuses on Count Dooku and young Ahsoka. Like I think they're in 2 different halves or whatever it is that their episodes.
How many episodes? 6? 2? Is it not 2?
I've not watched all of them yet, so I don't know.
I've seen a screenshot of Ezra with a beard, I think. So it's like not old man Ezra, but he's like elderly Ezra. But
Yaddle speaks normally, leading to the fact that Yoda doesn't.
he's the odd one out.
But apparently, this comes from the Knights of the Old Republic used to speak in that way because of like the ancient like beliefs of the Force and stuff like the Force guide.
Shit, I forgot in that game you meet a Yoda species because I mean they don't. Does Yoda have a species name, or are they just
Yodites?
The Yodites.
I don't know.
No, because there is a Yodite who is on the ancient Jedi Council who spoke normally. I totally forgot about that. So yeah, there are 3 Yodites in the universe: Yoda, Yaddledite, and Yodadite, the Grand Jedi Master of the Council, 100 million years ago.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, so she speaks normally. Oh, so Yoda's a weirdo then.
Yoda is, in fact,
a weirdo. He's a weird.
But we kind of knew that anyway. But no, he does it because of the Republic. The Republic. I am the Senate. Fucking hell, I've got loads of these old ones on there. Thing is, it's been ages since I've actually like updated, like and deleted stuff off there. We're just having a news clear out. Florence Pugh will reportedly receive around $10 million for her role as Yelena Belova in Thunderbolts and a secret MCU project.
Must be nice.
She's going to essentially be the lead of the Thunderbolts, which is good.
Yeah.
A possible Midnight Suns lineup would maybe consist of Elsa Bloodstone, Werewolf by Night, Man-Thing, Moon Knight, Blade, Ghost Rider, Brother Voodoo, and Satana.
Nice as well.
I am not against any of that. I think that they would put a Doctor Strange in there to be the bridge and then let it stand on its own.
Would you think it would be still 3-eyed, dark Doctor Strange,
well, it has to
evil
be. That's all
Doctor
he is now.
Strange?
That's
just dark
that's
Doctor
all he
Strange.
has.
Well, considering the original ending was them swapping places anyway, so he is going to be like evil Doctor Strange. Regardless if he's like,
possibly.
I've got an eye in my head, I don't know what I'm doing.
I've got an
aye.
So reportedly, a new special presentation will premiere just a few months before the release of Fantastic Four. A reported special presentation episode on Silver Surfer, which if they're using them almost as like, what am I thinking of? Marvel one-shots, but like
Yeah.
prequels, like elongated. Like I'm down for that if it's just here's the brief synopsis thing, and we just go into the film.
Well,
as and when.
it goes with the article of this. The film won't be the story. It will be a story that they all know, that we as the audience know. So it won't just be an origin again. That's what they keep implying that this film's going to be. So it won't be this is Reed Richards, this is Sue. The film will just sort of dive head in and be like, right, you know who the characters are. Now we're going to go on a cosmic adventure with Doctor Doom. Wait, who's Doctor Doom? We ain't got time for that.
Yeah. Time. Watch this. Boom.
Yeah. Oh look,
Boom.
There's a man with a mole.
Boom for Doom.
There's a mole man.
The renegotiation with Sony is also so that Venom can possibly be used in Secret Wars.
Ooh, be brave.
Which version of that? We don't know.
Both.
All versions.
All versions. To become the big Venom monster hybrid that you get in the cartoons and the Lego games. You can combine both to make like a big brooding monster Venom.
Hulk Venom and shit like that. John Favreau says the Ahsoka series is a samurai adventure series.
Cool.
That's cool. More akin to the actual origins of Star Wars and where it was birthed.
Yeah.
Nate Moore confirms the Eternals will return to the MCU. We've not seen the last of these characters.
Great.
That's good. That's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I definitely want. Janet calls Kang by his real name in the trailer and refers to him as Nathan in the movie because his real name is obviously from the comics Nathaniel Richards.
Brilliant.
A nice, if we're getting that sort of world building and like the fact that she's dealt with Kang before, that's cool. But obviously in the third film of every trilogy, someone loses something like important to them. Like Tony loses the arc reactor. Steve loses the shield because he has to drop it and get rid of it. Like, you know, my father made that.
It's like a self-punishment, but he does sort of relinquish his title.
Yeah, he sort of renounces the moniker of Captain America.
Yeah.
Thor loses his eye, his hammer, his parents, and his brother.
He's dead again, and dead again. Yeah.
He's dead, and that guy, and whoever the hell that is.
Yeah.
I would say also that Scott will probably lose something, and maybe it might
his life.
I think it's either going to be Hope or Hank. I don't see the point in killing off Janet because I don't think there's anything that he loses.
I think it's easy to say Michael Douglas is to die, but I think I don't know. I can't see them killing Cassie because she's going to be the Young Avenger equivalent. But it would be a darker but more real consequential of a film if she was to lose her dad. If Paul Rudd was the twist to go, to bite the dust, so to speak.
I mean, it would be ballsy to say the absolute least. But like you say, I think that's a hard sell for a kids' movie where Ant-Man's the funny one.
No more. I am the conqueror and I will conquer all your heroes until they are dead at my feet. Because, spoiler alert, I've killed them before.
What about Kang? Has he killed them? Oh, get it?
Yeah.
I was pretending that you were a mass murderer. Pretending.
I call my method the Kang method.
Do you know what is good? Netflix. Oh no, sorry.
Is it?
Sorry, EA have announced a partnership with Marvel to create a bunch of Marvel games.
EA have partnered with Netflix to make a game.
They are starting with an open world Iron Man game, which, as long as it's not like the Avengers Iron Man, which controls like the Batmobile tank and is shit.
It's atrocious. It's shocking.
Kelly Marcel will direct Venom 3. She wrote the first two films. I think that's good. Female director.
Someone that's actually been on the films before. Alright, does that mean we're going to get more of that Camp Goofy chocolate-eating chicken brain power Venom? Yeah, but...
I'm down for 3 different flavours of Venom. They're going to be 3 distinctly different films. When you watch the first one and the second one, they are vastly different to each other, but still... without doubt, the same
chicken
the same
eating,
series. Yeah.
Chicken. Yeah.
Because it's kind of a thing, like, you're either torn with you want the same director for all 3, or you want,
Yeah. But someone that's been on the writing page for all 3 of them, a bit of consistency.
And with the announcement of the people over at DC taking over, that being James Gunn and...
Peter Safran.
We
forget his name everywhere.
Apparently James Gunn reveals he's already spoken to the heads of both Marvel and DC about a potential Avengers versus JLA situation. We could possibly have that.
Oh my
I wouldn't be surprised if we got that in 10 years time, but get your universe right, because he talks about what is he talks about it was That wasn't an interview, it was on Twitter. Like, he tweeted for the first time in ages since the news had broken and said, like, thanks for all the positive feedback about, like, this, like, thing for me. Like, I'm really happy to do it. Obviously, with our new roles, Peter and I will be able to communicate with you a lot less because, obviously, we're going to be a lot busier. And I don't remember what the question was. Like, it was specifically something to do... I don't know if it was something to do with Suicide Squad or something else, but it basically said, like, our main focus is get the universe, like... in the right place. No, it might have been about Black Adam versus Superman.
Right.
Like it was basically like, they're like, we are for, and we want to tell the most ambitious story ever told over film, TV, and animation kind of thing. So they want to have their Infinity Saga essentially. So they want an overarching story with a beginning, middle, and end with all these interacting characters. Our focus is on doing that, and obviously, we want to give the fans what they want, but we're looking to tell our story here. Like it isn't a thing of well, what if you did this? What if you did that? I'm paraphrasing enormously because it's been ages since I've read the tweet directly, but there's a little thread on it. A lot of people, because James Gunn's very good at interacting with his fans anyway, especially when there's a hidden Easter egg in Guardians 1 that a lot of people still haven't found, which people regularly tweet on him to try and update. And I don't know if anyone's found it yet, but try to. And
hidden Easter egg, yeah.
So they want to shape the DCU, where it's going, what their start point is, what their journey is, and how much of... I'm guessing, do they carry on as normal, or is it was Black Adam in the beginning? Like, is this... is everything else canon? Like, I assume everything will, because with Henry Cavill being in it, you have to assume that
address some of
that
what
Man
he's
of
done.
Steel
Yeah.
and Batman v Superman and probably a version of the Justice League did happen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
But we shall see. I think exciting times, and look, if we do that, I still think that get your universes right, get your sequels to those films feeling right, bridge the gaps, get them crossing over together. In 5 or 6 years' time, be like, we fucked up the first time. Thanks for sticking around. Here's a Justice League style. It doesn't have to be Justice League specifically. Here's a Justice League-esque movie
that you all deserve.
And if that's successful, you do another one, build to it. You have your Infinity Saga story, and then only then after that, when you've done essentially what the competition have done, do you go, what's the one thing that everyone would pay to see, no matter what? And that's Batman, Iron Man, and everything on one team, either fighting each other or on one team because there is a much greater threat.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if 15, 20 years time
by the time
there was a JLA.
By the time we're
Avengers.
both in our 50s, and yes, I think it.
By the time we're both dead, it will happen. Do you know what that do?
On our death day.
When we record stuff, and then this day that we record,
something
stuff
gets announced.
Yeah, it'll be like that. We'll die and then everything will come out.
Yes.
Here's Deadpool 6.
Deadpool kills everyone.
Deadpool killed me.
Deadpool kills the DC universe.
We like Nicolas Cage, right?
Yeah, he's alright. He's okay.
I can't wait to watch The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Because boy, he had a massive talent in that movie.
Because I'm catching up on stuff now that more of the, releases earlier in the year that you got to see that I missed are coming on streaming.
They're coming home.
See How They Run is now on Disney Plus. I want to watch that. Obviously, I'm going to watch the Nicolas Cage movie. I watched recently, last night, I finished the, Harry Styles Amazon original film, My Policeman.
I've not seen it.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Not top 5,
top tier,
but it's very well. I can't really say much without giving away the whole crux of what the story is. But it's very good. It's about love and lots of other things, and it's a bit, twisty-turny. And Rupert Everett's in it, who's not in a lot of things anymore.
Apart from that Rupert Everett thing, that's Barbarian. I saw that Friday night in the cinema on my own.
A lot of
that
people
was
have
one
said
of the
that
scariest experiences I've seen.
Scary, but also just flat out this is it hardcore, and it's great for it. A lot of people have
100 minutes of pure
adrenaline.
Yeah. Suspense, fear, adrenaline, mystery, intrigue.
Love, pride, hate, fear.
Yeah, every emotion possible in 100 minutes. And by the time it ended and you sort of went, phew, it was probably the biggest tension release I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
It genuinely was one of those films that hit hard and was just, my God, I'm glad I did it in the cinema, not at home. So if you feel brave, and it's one of those where absolutely nothing, you're going to enjoy it.
1 year ago today.
What the leaked photos? Wow.
The leaked photos of happy anniversary leaked photos of Spider-Man No Way Home.
The most popular film of last year. Yeah, wow. Okay.
That was such a great time to be like around social media. Like I know TikTok ruined the film for so many people, but like after having seen Spider-Man No Way Home and seeing that, that's like getting the fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame song on the Spent One Day Out Here. Na, 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 na. Good.
It was
times.
fucking great. It was brilliant.
Very good.
I love that
very
movie.
nice.
Still love that movie. Best of Phase 4. Don't care. I love that movie. Love that movie to death.
Love it so much. I think that's most of it. There's a season 2 of The Sandman has finally been renewed after, Neil Gaiman said, like, just because we're the top trending thing on Netflix does not mean we're guaranteed a second season.
Yeah, right.
So it's finally been renewed. Have you watched The Sandman yet?
No, because I was going to read the graphic novel and I just never did.
It's good. You will like it.
Hmm.
Just like you would like sequels to National Treasure and Face Off, possibly, because
Face Off, yes.
Nicolas Cage is in negotiations to do sequels to both of his.
I want a Face Off
films.
cinematic universe.
I want a cinematic universe where Nick Cage then remakes John Travolta films, but it's just he is John Travolta now, and then the same with. I want John Travolta in Con Air and National Treasure. And I want Nicolas Cage in Pulp Fiction and Grease.
And Grease, yes, and Grease.
That's the world I want to live in, ladies and gentlemen. And until that happens, I will not be satisfied.
Yeah, till the grave.
I need to have sustenance from this mortal plane.
Oh.
But yeah, that's about it. We missed the BFI of the Time Meddler.
Boo.
Because all the tickets went that day. So
pathetic.
The next collection box set that comes out, we will definitely have one of us pay more attention to when the tickets are out and stay on the website indefinitely.
Yeah.
And definitely try and go. And if an animation comes about with then, because that would be nice. Then
that
maybe
would be
we'll
very
go to
nice.
that.
Yeah.
But more Doctor Who things than you can shake Russell T Davis's fabulous brain at. Yeah, that was kind of just a catch up on the news, and probably the stuff that we were going to talk about in depth we'll talk about in 5 minutes time. I mean next week.
In next 5 weeks time, yeah. In next 5 weeks time.
But in terms of endearment, a film I don't know what happens in, we say au revoir.
Allons-y.
Allons-y. I rewatched because I'm now official. So my thing with Christmas is, because obviously still at the moment working in retail, like, Christmas is thrown down your throat.
Whether you like it or not.
I try and avoid it until the last possible minute. And like, I've done most of my Christmas shopping was done like the end of last month. Like every payday was like buy a bit more, and I should be done before, because I always try and do it earlier and earlier. But like, I don't want to. I hate getting to like mid to late November into December where it's like I still got stuff to do, but like, I'll be finishing it off hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And it was after Halloween had been, and more so after Saturday, which was bonfire night, because I believe that once the final firework falls, the Christmas countdown can officially begin, because then there's nothing else in the way of it.
Right, okay.
But like after like Halloween, I was watching. I've been watching Christmas specials of Doctor Who, just to sort of get me in there, because I watch Christmas stuff in the run up, especially in December. But like I like to feel the nostalgia.
Do it a bit early, a little bit.
Sort of like. So I watched Christmas Carol, which is arguably my favourite. To be fair to all of them, so then I watched Twice Upon a Time. Because I was like, has this still aged poorly? And it has. But I enjoy the fucking, what do you call it? The bridging between that bit in the 10th Planet and that brief moment where we have possibly the worst actor choice to portray Ben. Because you look nothing like Ben. Your hair is a different colour.
Yeah,
you are about 7 foot taller.
I kind of forgot about him. Yeah.
But no, bless him. It was only for like a cameo thing, and it's quite cool. And the regeneration bit I do like, and it sort of felt fitting because obviously now that I'm geared up to watch the Jodie Whittaker era, for me it was very important to be like, how did this era, the previous era, end, and how this era was birthed. So it was like watching that, and then that made me in the mood for, right, I'm ready for those 2 weeks that we've got to watch the Whittaker era, and now owning them all, I'm like, no excuse.
Yeah.
But obviously, because of the future, I already watched End of Time. Part 1 I think is still better than part 2, but
I'm on the Age of Steel and Rise of Cybermen. I'm just
you were watching the whole thing.
Oh, RTD. We'll get until next year. I'm not doing it all for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've got to do the Jodie Whittaker era in 2 weeks' time.
Time works in the flux. What the flux is Doctor Who these days. I could squeeze Whittaker in between Russell and R2D1 and carry on with the Moffat verse and
but yeah, so
maybe not the Chibnall verse again.
I mean, I might just do all the Christmas specials but then I'll just be like, I'll just watch the fucking show.
I'm not
again.
watching Christmas specials in November. I mean, that's just me. I won't.
I've watched just like in terms of like it's more.
I mean, it works in your point of getting into Christmas.
More of a Christmassy time.
As I'm getting older, I don't give a shite personally.
I've always loved it, and I always will. And now I have even more reason to because of an expensive human that I now live with. But he will be worth it. I will mould him into me. But like mainly because with so much that happens in and around Christmas, be it at work or with your families, I know that the Doctor Who stuff is the thing I'm going to have the least amount of time for. So if I kind of watch it now, then I've had the thing of like, because I like watching it every year around Christmas, I might just have to get in early and then just watch like Elf, Santa Claus and all that and just have the films be in December instead. But until then, Christmas is a long way off and we're not pre-recording it, definitely.
No. We'll see you in like 7 weeks or however many.
7 weeks or 10 minutes or whatever. But thank you very much for listening, watching with us all. And I will just say and end with that I put that post out like 2 days ago, just to sort of get some things off my mind and my chest, to just how out of
your pasty system.
Like, and a lot of people have said, like, does that mean it's over? And I'm like, no. Like, I just feel like I felt deflated a lot personally, like with personal circumstance being like the time we have to record. Like I know at the minute, like it's fine, like for you because like you have that thing. I'm still trying to find
set schedule.
My next
big
port
life,
of employment,
your big life change. Yeah,
which obviously has been delayed by the fact that a big life change is having a child, and that adjustment has been hard. Not hard as in like I don't like enjoy everything. Like it's one of the best things that will ever happen to anyone in life ever. But it's just a thing of like, oh, I'm not always myself. Like you are parent first, then yourself second when you get the chance.
Definitely.
And obviously, like being in retail, like it is like the mix of shifts. Like if I'm on like later shifts, then I'm missing out on time with them anyway. So if I'm missing out on time with them, then I can't justify then doing like 2, 3, 4 days of doing this kind of thing. Like it's a hard balancing act that I've said before. Like will get easier as as he gets older, as we find our groove, as hopefully one of these jobs like comes through, and then that's more time, more money, etc. Everything kind of
works out in that way. Yeah.
Like we still need a second monitor, we still need a decent camera so we can actually record. Because I feel like we've promised a lot of content that we have either planned, made versions of, like recorded some bits for. Like videos have been lost in transition between that shit laptop and this. That then having the problem with the hard drive of that's quite a small hard drive, so I can't afford to flat out just replace it with an 8 terabyte right now. So I'm running it off of the rendered stuff then goes through the hard drives itself, which I'm like, that's cool. That's the thing for now. And like I said in the thing, a lot of like we hit a stride and then obstacles, and then it feels like we stagnate. And like this COVID, I think we just about managed to run up that hill, to quote Kate Bush.
But definitely.
And then it felt like then finding it, and then have like obviously like having the baby wasn't part of the plan, but like naturally things shift focus. Like life happens, everyone grows up, and I have always felt like I haven't done as much yet that I want to do. Not to say that it's not going to happen, like it is. It just the best things do take time, and I really do want to be. I know you do as well. Like we want to be able to make amazing things like every week, like have fun doing it as well, but make more variety of stuff instead of just this, because I know that like having this come out every week still I'm reminded is an achievement in itself to like.
It's a commitment.
Yeah,
we've somehow kept. It is amazing that we've kept doing it really for this long.
Yeah, for like 4 years and counting, and that will continue. And the good times will come. It's just the retrospective of the Whittaker era is something recording wise that I'm looking forward to, because I know the four of us, because obviously sadly Mike can't do it because I think he's on a family holiday, which is totally understandable, and we will have him on again at some point in the future, and hopefully won't fuck up his audio files and have him talk about vampires. But because I know that's just going to be fun, like a couple of hours of us just shooting the shit about an era that we all have mixed feelings on. Like
some great, some weird, somewhat the absolute.
I would say the definition of a mixed bag.
What the flux.
And I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to sort of like, we're at that point in the year where we're pre-recording stuff, because obviously Christmas is coming up and our
takes
jobs
over
and our
everyone's lives.
So like we'll have to pre-record Christmas. We'll have to do the end of New Year and possibly the beginning, because I want to try and get them so it gives us 3 weeks to just cool off, enjoy the holiday, be with our like friends, family, loved ones, recharge, and then come back and actually balls to the wall. Like we've said many times, but just have not like something always comes up, doesn't it? Like I feel like every time we're like, we're cool, something happens.
Yeah, we're cool. Yeah, we were good. Yeah.
And
see you then.
And like I would never want this to end, because I think the benefit that I've really had from it in terms of like mentally wise is that no matter how bad my week is, I know that Wednesday I'm going to talk with, like we talked about Matt Smith's week for like 10 minutes. Like no one else, I couldn't have these conversations with anyone else. Any other way, and it's nice to at least have an excuse to just have a conversation with one of my best mates every week.
No, that's but no, thanks. It's making me blush.
Oh yes. He's putting his pants back on now as well.
See, I tried to make the sound effect. That didn't work.
But until you know what, you close it out, fella.
Fella. I'm not a Celtic warrior named Seamus. Fella.
Get that on a fucking t-shirt. I'm not a Celtic warrior named Seamus.
Not that there's anything wrong with the name Seamus, especially Seamus.
There is no Seamus.
Badoom-tish. Yes. Enjoy your early Christmas if you're like George, that actually gives a shit about the jolly old spirit of Saint Nick a month early. If you're watching a Christmas movie, a movie called Violent Night with David Harbour is vicious Santa. But say he's vicious. He's not evil Santa. He isn't ruining the Christmas spirit. He's saving a family from nasty terrorists that invade a family's house.
That film does look good.
And jolly old Saint Nick comes down the chimney himself. The original Saint Nick comes down and kicks their asses, and it actually looks great.
It does.
It actually just looks very watchable.
Yes.
Just random Violent Night or something it's called. It's not like Violent Christmas. It's Violent.
On Netflix, or is it just?
I think it's cinema. I think it's a cinema release.
Oh.
I don't think it's a streaming.
And crazy days.
So yes, Christmas, the time to get violent. Enjoy it. If by the time you're listening to this, it'll be like the week before. But for us, it'll just be 5 minutes till we do the next one.
Yes, and thank you for listening, watching, absorbing in whatever way you choose to. It's been a pleasure for us to do this, and I feel like we are in the whole. This last stretch. Let's enjoy the year. We're all happy now. Everyone is happy. Nothing is wrong. At Pasty across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and there's a TikTok account, I think, somewhere.
I think
if you want to get in contact with us throughout the week, and electronic.
Yeah,
it's your bit.
So just looked at me. Yeah, obviously the electronic mail, where all primary communication.
Season 4 of
Slap
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah,
there's 2 episodes of that on Disney Plus.
Now?
Yes.
Oh, I know what I'm doing in the commercial break, guys.